Hi friends, Namaste. Now I would present to you another video to discuss the chart of another performer, great dancer, Bharatanatyam and Western dancer, Rukmini Arundale. So this Rukmini Arundale is very important and see her date of birth. It is 29th February, that is 1904. So that date is interesting. So she is a dancer, again a performing artist. There are several other faces, other angles of Rukmini Arundale. She is not only a dancer, she is an important member in the Theosophical Society of India, Adayar. At that time, Theosophical Society is Divisional Samaja, we call it in Telugu. I don't know how it is called in other languages. Theosophical Society of India was very active in those days. Then I think Annie Besant was the president at that time. Before Annie Besant, I think it was Madam Blavatsky or there are some other persons. So Jiddu Krishnamurti was also a prominent person in Theosophical Society at that time. If I remember well, Rukmini Arundale also was the president of Theosophical Society of India for some time. So this Theosophical Society of India is, it does not consider the name of the religion, Hinduism or Christian or Islam. That they say man and the Almighty. Almighty is the spirit which controls, which drives, which controls the whole human life or whole world. So that spirit and man, these are the subjects of study of that society. So that is related to philosophy. That is why, right, I will explain it then. So Rukmini Arundale, see her chart. So her Janma Lagna is of Vrishabha and Lord of Lagna, Vrishabha Lagna is Venus. He in Makara, the ninth house. Ninth from Venus is Kanya, Kanya is Arudha Lagna. So Arudha 11th from Arudha Lagna is Kanya. Kanya has again a 3. See, Lagna, Vrishabha. Third house, 1, 2, 3. Karkataka, third house. Lord of Karkataka, Moon. Again in Karkataka itself. So what is A3? A3 is Karkataka. Karkataka is A3 and it is 11th from Arudha Lagna. So 11th from Arudha Lagna, A3. So you keep all the charts one beside the other, and see the padas in Arudha Labha directly or aspecting Arudha Labha. You find A3 invariably. So this is how you must try to find out the common points in all these things and you learn it to interpret these principles into a new chart. After some time, you learn these charts. You try to interpret in other familiar charts. For example, this is great dancer, Rukmini Arundale. The Tamilians must be knowing Hema Malini, Sri Devi, and then other dancers, also Padmini, etc., etc. And in North Indians, Vaijayantmala and others. So, you know many dancers, all of you. So you take those charts and apply these principles which I am telling to those charts. Then it will be very clear to you. Then you will be ultimately, our purpose is to study and predict new charts. To study new charts, unknown charts. If somebody comes to you with the chart of a boy, 10-year boy, sir, you please tell me if this boy becomes a doctor or not. So that is our, we must be able to predict it. That is our effort, at least. That is our effort. For that only we are studying all these things. So for this, it is important that you should study, after knowing this chart, you study a parallel chart on your own. Then apply to an unknown chart. Right, sir. Then So moon sign is Karkataka. Moon is in Karkataka. Lord of Karkataka is moon. Moon sign is Karkataka. So Lord of the moon sign is moon himself. So the Lord of the moon sign aspects Janma Lagna in Vrushabha and he occupies moon sign. So he is Yogada. That is the definition of Yogada. That is one definition. Another definition is the planet which aspects Janma Lagna in D1 chart, the other two Lagnas in the two charts. That is Yogada. That is another definition. There are two definitions. So Yogada is moon. Moon is BK, Bhratrakaraka, Lord of A3. The next one. See the Aura Lagna. Aura Lagna is in Simha in this chart on 3 degrees 40 minutes. And Ghatika Lagna is in Masha, that is in 13 degrees 48 minutes. 13 degrees 48 minutes. You see for yourself, Jagannath Aura, you can find these things. There may be difference in some minutes, not the Rasi. There cannot be any changes in Rasis. So in the D2 chart, see D9 chart, Aura Lagna falls in Vrishabha and Ghatika Lagna is in Samha. Janma Lagna is Mithuna. So nothing is possible. So what is there is only in D1 chart, I think Janma Lagna, Aura Lagna, and where is Ghatika Lagna? Ghatika Lagna is Mesha. Mesha cannot join these two. So Janma Lagna is a fixed sign. Vara Lagna is a fixed sign. Simha. These two Lagnas are aspected by planets from Makara. So that is how Mercury, Saturn, Venus are Raj Yoga Karakas. So I will read it out. Please follow. The native of this chart is Rukmini Arundale. She was famous dancer, Bharatanatyam and Western dance also. She started Kalakshetra in Adayar, Chennai to train. She trained a number of young men and women in Bharatanatyam and Western dance. Srimati Rukmini was a Brahmin lady. Her father was a Nilakanta Shastri from Madurai. She loved and married a European, George Arundale. She was a social reformer. She was a prominent member of the Theosophical Society of India, Theosophical Society, along with Annie Besant, then Jiddu Krishnamurti, etc. I think she was the president at one time, she was the president of Theosophical Society of India. So she was nominated to the Rajya Sabha as a member of parliament from 1952 first time and in 1956 second time. So Srimati Rukmini Arundale was awarded Padma Bhushan in 1956. See the D1 chart. Janma Lagna is Vrishabha. Lord of the Lagna Venus is in Makara, which is the 9th house from Lagna. So the Arudha Lagna is Kanya and the Arudha Labha is Karkataka. There is a 3 Pratrapada in that. You please remember Arudha Vyaya is the Simha. That's also you please remember. We will come to it later. So the moon occupies his own house. Moon occupies his own house, Karkataka. So the Lord of the moon sign is moon himself. The Lord of moon sign aspects the Janma Lagna of Vrashabha. He occupies the moon sign Karkataka. So moon is Yogada. Moon is the Bhratru Taraka, Lord of Bhratrupada, and Lord of third house, Lord of the Bhratrupada. Then next yoga is, we know that if the same planet aspects moon sign in D1 chart, Navansha Lagna in D9 chart, and Grekana Lagna in D3 chart, it is a Raja Yoga. So here the sun aspects the moon in the D1 chart and the Lagnas in the D9 and D3 charts. So sun is the Yoga Karaka. The planet who aspects Chandra Lagna, Navamsa Lagna, Drekkan Lagna is a Raja Yoga. And the planet aspecting is called a Raja Yoga Karaka. So Sun is MK, Mratrikaraka, Lord of Arudha Vyaya, that is the Lord of the 12th house from Arudha Lagna. Here I would like to take a pause. You please see Arudha Vyaya. See, in all these yoga, the planet who is aspecting Janma Lagna, Hora Lagna, Getika Lagna, the planet who is aspecting Chandra Lagna, Navamsa Lagna, Drekkan Lagna. These are Yogadas and Yoga Karakas. What is the importance of these? I told you. They magnify the significations of planets. If he is a benefic planet, okay. If he is Venus and say Bhratrakaraka or say Jupiter or Putrakaraka, good. But if he is like a Mars GK, what happens? If a malefic aspects these three lagnas, malefic becomes Yogada or Rajyoga Karaka. Yogada means aspecting Rashtrapati, that is Lord of the moon sign aspecting Janmalakna as well as moon sign, that is one Yogada. The planet who is aspecting Janmalakna, Navamsa Lagna, Drakkan Lagna, the same planet if he aspects in these three charts is Yogada. So Yogada or Yoga Karaka. If he is a GK, what is the result? That is, that native becomes a cipher, a zero. However much well-read he is, they are good scholars, but they made nothing in the world. Why? It depends upon the nature of the Yogada or Yoga Karaka. You please make it me. All Yogadas cannot be good. All Yoga Karakas cannot be good. Good or bad depends upon the nature and Karakatwas of the aspecting planet or whom we are calling Raja Yoga Karaka. Here, Sun is Raja Yoga Karaka here. Who is Sun? Lord of Arudha Vyaya. So far, we have been telling Arudha Vyaya, if a planet occupies Arudha Vyaya, everything is lost. So, expenditure, losses, like that. So, if Amachakaraka aspects Arudha Vyaya, we need to cannot settle in life. So, all the negative feelings are attached to Arudha Vyaya and its Lord. Arudha Vyaya is not the Arudha of the 12th house. Please don't mistake. Arudha of the 12th house is upapada. This is 12th house from Arudha Lagna. 12th house from Janma Lagna gives you upapada. 12th house from Janma Lagna gives you upapada. It is 12th house from Arudha Lagna is Arudha Vyaya. So Arudha Vyaya signifies the losses, expenditure, and poverty, everything negative. So, but Sun is the Lord of Arudha Vyaya, who is Yoga Karaka. What does it mean? So, 12th house from Arudha Lagna may signify, because she worked in the Theosophical Society of India. She was the president at one time. She was offered to be made the president of India by Morarji Desai in 1977. 1977 or 79 or 78 or 77 or 78 when the elections were held for the post of Rashtrapati. So Janata Party, that was in Janata Party, they wanted Sanjay Reddy to become the president of India. But Morarji Desai did not want Sanjay Reddy to become the president because of some personal equations. So he proposed the name of Rukmini Arundale. Why? We don't know the importance of Rukmini Arundale at that time. She was not very popular. Maybe she is popular in Tamil Nadu or in Madras city. But somebody cracked a joke. Morarji Desai was born on 29th February. And this Rukmini Arundale also was born on 29th February. So because of this uh, uh, date of birth, same date of birth, they have this affinity. Somebody came cut a joke. So Rukmini Arundale stood for detachment. Arudha Vyaya means detachment or moksha or going in the path of liberation, renunciation. That is the significance of Arudha Vyaya, besides losses, expenditure, everything. So here, Sun is the Yoga Karaka. Sun is Matrukaraka MK, the Lord of Arudha Vyaya. That is important. We know that with the same planet aspects Janma Lagna, Hora Lagna, and Ghatika Lagna, again it is a Raj Yoga. See how many Raj Yogas are there? It is our business to identify them. That's all. So here, all the three Janma, Hora, Ghatika Lagnas are not aspected by the same planet in the D1 chart. So even two Lagnas, Janma Lagna and Hora Lagna, Janma Lagna and Ghatika Lagna. So don't be under the impression that if Hora Lagna and Ghatika Lagna, these two Lagnas are aspected by the same planet. No, that will not work. Janma Lagna and Hora Lagna, Janma Lagna and Ghatika Lagna. Janma Lagna is important. So then that Raja. Even if two Lagnas, Janma Lagna and one of the two Lagnas, that is Hora Lagna, or Janma Lagna and Ghatika Lagna, that is also a Raja Yoga. In this chart, the Janma Lagna is Vrushabha, Hora Lagna is Simha, and Ghatika Lagna is Mesha. All the three Lagnas are not aspected by any planet because Mesha and Vrushabha are in side by side. So, Janma Lagna, Vrushabha, and Hora Lagna, Simha are aspected by three planets. That is, three planets occupying Makara. That is Saturn, AMK, Mercury, Atmakaraka, and Karaka of all finals, and Venus, the Putrakaraka, and Karaka for finals. Saturn is Amarcha Karaka only, Karaka of profession. So, in this chart, except Mars, GK, and Jupiter, DK, all the remaining planets are have become Yoga Karakas. You see, in one combination, Moon is Yogada. So, Moon is one. Sun aspects Janma Lagna, Hora Lagna, Ghatika Lagna is another. No, Moon, Lord of the Moon sign. Moon sign in Janma Lagna, Navamsa Lagna, and Rakana Lagna, Sun aspects. So, Sun is Yoga. And now, three planets. So, 3 plus 2, 5 planets are engaged in this Raj Yoga, that Raj Yoga. Only 2 planets are left. So, that is the strength of this chart. So, Moon is Yogada. So, Sun aspects Moon is Yogada. Sun aspects Chandalagna, Navamsa Lagna, Vyakaran Lagna, and Saturn, Mercury, and Venus, they aspect Janmalagna and Hora Lagna. So, total 5 planets are become Yogada or Yoga Karakas. So, this is the importance of this one. So, the Karakatwas of those planets and padas with whom these 3 planets are associated, the Karakatwas of those padas are very much greatly amplified. Now, before we begin to analyze this chart, let us notice one important factor in this chart. That is, the Janma Lagna is Vrushabha, the Lord of Lagna, Venus, is in Makara, which is the 9th from Lagna. So, the 9th from Venus is Kanya, so Kanya is Arudha Lagna. The Arudha Lagna of Kanya is occupied by only one planet. Oh, this is important. For every chart, we must actually do this first. Arudha Lagna is occupied by only one planet. 7th house from Arudha Lagna is occupied by 3 planets, Jupiter, Mars, and Ketu. So, already in the, you turn back the videos. In the earlier video, we studied the strength of grahas and the strength of rasis. That is Rashi Bala and the Graha Bala. There I told you, the planet which has more number of planets is stronger than the planet which has less number of planets. Simple. So here, Kanya has only one planet and Meena has 3 planets. The Arudha Lagna Kanya is occupied by only one planet, Rahu, whereas the 7th from Kanya that is Meena, is occupied by 3 planets, Mars, Jupiter, and Ketu. So you may ask me, sir, we are not following this rule for every chart. For every chart, we don't do it. For some charts, for any chart, if the combination is not applying, then we think, why it is not applying, why it is not applying, then it strikes our mind. That is why the sutras also mention either this or that. If upapada 5th house from upapada or the 11th house from upapada, why 5th house and why 11th house? If upapada is stronger, upapada 5th from upapada works. If upapada saptama is stronger, 5th house from upapada saptama is 11th house from upapada. So these are the secrets, and that's all. So if this is strong, we apply this part of the sutra. If this is strong, we apply. So both are there, both are hidden in the same sutra. So the Janma Lagna is Vrshabha. The Lord of Lagna, Venus, is in Makara, which is the 9th from. Now, Arudha Lagna, Kanya is occupied by only one planet, that is Rahu. Whereas the 7th from Kanya is Meena, is occupied by 3 planets, Mars, Jupiter, and Ketu. So I would remind you that we discussed the Rasi and Graha Balas in one of our earlier videos, wherein we observed that the Rasi, which is occupied by more number of planets, is stronger than the planet which has a less number of planets. So, Arudha Lagna is Meena. So, Arudha Saptama, Meena will be considered as Arudha Lagna hereafter. Then Arudha Lava becomes Makara. So, we consider Meena as Arudha Lagna, also as Arudha Lagna. And consequently, we don't throw Kanya out. Sometimes we may consider Kanya also, depending upon some sutras apply from Kanya and some apply from, at least we have the chance of applying the principles from Meena also. So please bear it in mind. We consider Meena also as Arudha Lagna, and consequently Makara becomes Arudha Labha, Lord of Makara. The Lord of Arudha Labha is Saturn, the Amachakaraka. The Rajyapada 8 is Dhanus, and the Lord of Dhanus is Jupiter, the Dharakaraka, DK. So the Bharatrupada A3 is Karnataka, and the Lord of A3 is Meena, Yogada, and also the Bharatrukaraka BK. So the Atmakaraka AK is Mercury, who is the Lord of Kanya, the 10th from Dhanus, the 10th from A10, Dhanus. So Mercury is important in that way. So the Karkam's Lakana is Simha. Now see the D10 chart. So the first point we must notice is that there is a parivartana between Saturn in Mesha and Mars in Kumbha. So Saturn and Mars are in parivartana. So you can imagine Mars to be in Kumbha as well as in Mesha. Similarly, Saturn also may be assumed to be present in Mesha as well as in Kumbha. You can assume that Saturn is in Kumbha, Saturn is Amachakaraka, and also the Lord of Arudha Labha, Makara. So we must remember that we are considering Meena as Arudha Lagna. Then now we must find out the connections between the relevant padas, their laws, and the karakas in the D10 chart. First, Arudha Labha. The Arudha Labha, Makara, is occupied by Ketu, Jupiter, and the Lord of Ketan. The Arudha Labha, Makara, is occupied by, in the D10 chart, Arudha Labha, Makara is occupied by Jupiter, Venus, and Ketu. Jupiter, Venus, and Ketu. Right. Jupiter is the lord of Ketan, Venus is the Putra Karaka and PK, and also the lord of Putrapada A5. So, Arudha Labha Makara is aspected by Mercury, the Atmakaraka from Putrapada A5 in Vrushabha. Vrushabha aspects Makara, we all know that. Mercury is the lord of Kanya, which is the third from A3. A3 is Karkataka, third from A3 is Kanya, third from A3, and the 10th from A10, 10th from Dhanus, and also the 5th from A5, Vrishchika. 5th from A5, third from A3, 10th from A10. If the same sign has this type of connections, then we must understand or at least respect that the profession of the native has connection with the third house, fifth house, and 10th house. So third house, for example, I tell you, third house is will be connected to sportsman also. For a native to become a sportsman, A3 is important in the Arudha Labha. Okay. Then how do you distinguish between an artist and a player, athlete? The difference is third house and fifth house combination. Fifth house is for creativity. So small differences are there between one profession of major signifying factor is eight, Lord of eighth and B. And we must find out subtle differences between field to field. We must observe that. Even for publication, also is third house. Poetry, third house. Acting, third house. So we must try to understand only through experience and nothing more than experience. So, which is third from A3 Makara, 10 from A10, and fifth from A5. This is all Kanya. So, several Rajyogas are formed from this, the combination of Jupiter and Venus and Mercury. Jupiter, Venus, and Mercury. First combination is combination of Atmakaraka, Mercury, and PK, Venus. Combination of the Lord of A10, Jupiter, and Lord of A5, Venus. Then Lord of A10, Lord of A5. So Lord of A5, Lord of A5, Dashamadhipati, Panchamadhipati. That is that combination. Combination of the Lord of A10, Jupiter, and Mercury, the Lord of 10th from A10, third from A3, and the Karaka of the 5th from A5, Vrishchika. 5th from A5, Vrishava. So the Lord of Arudha also is Saturn. We have noticed that Mars has a parivartana with Saturn, so we may assume Saturn to be present in Kumbha. So then the Lord of Arudha Saturn is taken in Kumbha, then he is aspecting A3. So for any profession, Amachakaraka is a must. Without the connection of Amachakaraka, any number of planets and any number of padas can do nothing. So Amachakaraka is aspecting A3, the Karkataka. The Bhratrupada, Amachakaraka is connected to Bhratrupada. See, I will tell you later. There is a chart, unknown chart. We must tell the profession. The first thing we must do is see the D10 chart. Then see the Rajyapada A10 is connected to which pada? Number one. Arudha Labha is connected to which pada? Number three. Amachakaraka is connected to which pada? These three probably they decide the profession of the native. At least you can come to a very very near place to reality. So the Lord of Arudha Labha, Saturn, the AMK is aspecting A3 in Karkataka. The Bhratrapada A3 and also the Sun, the Yoga Karaka planet, who is aspecting moon sign in the D1 chart, Lagna in D9 chart, and Lagna in D3 chart. So the Rajyapada A10 is Dhanus. Rajyapada A10 Dhanus is aspected. So you have a checklist. Arudha Labha, Lord of Arudha, A10, Lord of A10, Amachakaraka. You see who are the planets and padas connected to these two things. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 subheadings. So you see like that. For every chart, we take the same proforma. So Rajyapada A10. The Rajyapada A10 Dhanus is aspected by Lagada moon, who is the Lord of A3. So Rajyapada is connected to A3 here. A3 Karakatva and also the Bhratru Karaka BK. Then, if we consider the Karakamsa Lagna as the reference point, so Karakamsa Lagna is also a reference point which she was referred to by Maharshi Jaimini in Kara. So, the Karakamsa Lagna, second, fifth. Karakamsa Lagna, second and fifth. If these three houses are connected to Sun, Moon, Mercury, Venus, so different types of artists are born. And if they are connected to Moon and Jupiter, writer. Venus and Jupiter, Venus and Moon, Jupiter. Mercury and Moon, Jupiter. Jupiter, writer. Jupiter and Moon, writer of the first grade. Venus and Moon, writer of the second grade. Mercury and Moon, later of an average quality. So totally these are the planets which give you artists, performers, scholars. This thing. So if we consider Karakamsa Lagna as the reference point, Maharshi Jaimini gives combinations for the native to become an artist. If the Karakamsa Lagna, the second from Karakamsa Lagna is connected to Sun, dancer, actor, musician. Mercury, instrumentalist, script writing, and also writing in general. Venus, poetry, good speaker, scholar in literature. Also, there are three sutras. If Jupiter and Moon, author of books of the first quality. Venus and Moon, author of books of the second quality. Mercury and Moon, author of books of average quality. So these are all given by Maharshi Jaimini in the second pada of the first adhyaya. So please see. These combinations may be applied with reference to Atmakaraka and Yogada also. So all the combinations given in Karkamsa Prakarana or Arudha Prakarana, so the reference point is upapada or Arudha Lagna or Karkamsa Lagna. If you find Yogada in a chart, all these combinations may be applied with reference to Yogada also. Yogada is all in one. So here, the combinations defined with reference to Karkamsa Lagna may be applied with reference to Karkamsa Lagna or Atmakaraka or Yogada as a last chance. So Atmakaraka is Mercury and the Karkamsa Lagna is Simha. See, the second from Simha is occupied by Moon. Simha is aspected by Jupiter and Venus from Makara. Jupiter and Venus are aspecting the second from Karkamsa. Moon is the Yogada and the Lord of A3 and also BK. The second from Moon is aspected by Mercury. That is, here Yogada is the reference point. Second from Yogada is aspected by Mercury. The fifth from Moon, again, Moon is the reference point. Yogada is the reference point. Fifth from Moon is occupied by Jupiter and Venus. Mercury is the Atmakaraka, is in Vrishabha, that is A5 in A5. So Mercury is the Lord of A10 also. Mercury is aspected by Yogakaraka Sun from A3. Yogakaraka means the Sun aspects Moon sign, Navamsa Lagna, and Prakana Lagna, great Raj, causing a great Raj Yoga. So Sun is Yoga Karaka. Mercury is also aspected by another Yoga Karaka, Venus, and by Jupiter. So all the Karakas for fine arts are connected to the Karakamsa Lagna or the Yogada Moon and from Atmakaraka Mercury. At the beginning, I told you that Smt Arundale was the first lady to be nominated to Rajya Sabha. So she was nominated to Rajya Sabha twice in 52 and the second time 56. So the Karakamsa Lagna or the 10th from Karakamsa Lagna is connected to Sun, the native or Venus. Karakamsa Lagna or 10th from Karakamsa Lagna or Arudha Labha even is connected to Sun, the native, as will occupy some constitutional position. So here the 10th from Karakams Lagna is Vrishaba, A5, and it is occupied by Mercury, the lord of Aten, and it is also very aspected by Sun. It is aspected by Sun, the lord of Karakams Lagna, and also by Venus. Sun and Venus. Tatra Ravi Sukrau Rajakarya Paraha. Tatra Ravu Rajapreshyaha. These are the two sutras given by Jaimini. The lord of Karakams Lagna and also by Venus, the Putra Karaka, lord of A5, and Jupiter, the lord of 8 and Dhanus. So we must remember that all the planets in the combination are Yoga Karaka. So who caused the yoga by aspecting Janma Lagna and Hora Lagna. Another important combination involved in the above combinations is if we know that the combination of fifth and 10th bhavas, fifth and 10th bhavas are their Arudhas, A5 and A10. Their lords, Lord of A5, Lord of A10, they make the native occupy an executive, he will exercise political powers, political position and political powers. You see, the 10th from Karkam's Lagna is Vrishaba, is A5, Uttarapada, occupied by Mercury, the AK, and the Lord of 10th from A10 and 5th from A5. So, the 10th from Karakam Sulakna is Vrishaba. That is A5. Uttarapada, A5 means Putrapada. The occupied by Mercury, the Atmakaraka, and the Lord of 10th from A10 and the 5th from A5. It is aspected by 1. Venus, the Lord of A5 and PK. Jupiter, the Lord of A5. By Sun, the royal planet and Lord of Karakam Lagna. So it is aspected by Venus and Sun. So since she occupied political positions. So then AMK Saturn is missing here. AMK Saturn is missing here in this combination. AMK is a Karaka of the 10th house. The result is perhaps the result why it is missing. Amartya Karaka is the Karaka of the 10th house. Okay, it is not seen here. So the result is perhaps the native is not an active politician in the real sense. So she was only a nominated member, but in Rajya Sabha. But her interest was social reformation. Her interest was vegetarianism. That is a movement. She carried out that movement, vegetarian movement. She was awarded Padma Bhushan by the government of India, besides several other academies, Sangeeta Nataka Academy awards. The Arudha Lagna is Mena and Arudha Labha is Makara. It is occupied by Jupiter, the lord of Aten, Venus, the lord of A5, and also the Putrakaraka PK. It is further aspected by Mercury, the lord of third from A3 and the 10th from A10. Also the 5th from A5, Vrishaba. Mercury occupies Vrishaba A5. Before I conclude this topic, I would add that the sage Jaimini or Krishna Mishra formulated sutras involving planets and houses only, planets and houses. If Arudalabha is connected to Jupiter, Moon, the native receives awards. So Jupiter must be Karaka of what Pada, what Karaka, the Arudalabha, what house it must be, what Pada it must be connected to. So the Padas and Karakas are not at all connected by described by Krishna Mishra. Just we are trying to add those details because of some experience. And we must try only. If they go wrong, let us take them out. But they have not mentioned anywhere padas like A3, A5 or A10 or the Charkarkas like Ratrukarka or Putrakarka. For example, if Karkam's Lagna or the 10th from Karkam's Lagna is connected to Sun or Venus, we need to exercise political power. So, but they have not mentioned the Arudhas or like Rajyapada or the Putrapada, or the Charakarakas like Amarchakaraka, Putrakaraka. So these are not mentioned by those scholars. Putrakaraka, that the combination of 10th and 5th is simple. The combination of 10th house and 5th house gives political power. That is the Parashara Sutra, we know. The combination of 10th and 5th houses are their lords or karakas of those padas which are very important for political authority. So, if I have added and supplemented them to the sutras formulated in their classical textbooks. Thank you very much.